Mirror match incoming.
But there are different versions of the Hunter, and it's not always Miracle, because we see more and more Malagos rogues.
I would say we are going to see Hunter versus Hunter or Rogue versus Hunter. Let's start the game and find out what's happening. Rogue versus Warrior, so not in my predictions actually.
And it could still be both.
It
But
could still be both.
Looks like Miracle to me.
The funny thing for Freck we see here is the Earthen Ring Farseer. Haven't seen that in ages in Warrior decks. I know why he plays it. It's good, even against Miracle, to heal yourself up. Big question is, what did he throw out for this? Well, you can answer that question to yourself on Monday when I will throw out all those deck lists from the players, so you can actually see what is that awesome deck Freck is playing here.
And he's also Sanjin and Korkron.
Mid-range, heal up, survive version. Even more control or survival potential here for Freck. So that looks like a good deck. Ostkaka just gets his weapon, does damage, and well, it looks like average Miracle Rogue by now. No surprises incoming. And Freck just needs to armor up, and rush Ostkaka's face down as fast as possible. He could play an SI7 agent, but that would be like for 0 value, and you really don't want to do it, especially if you have a backstab to combo. Will Freck just play his
Acolyte?
If he plays it, still good. At the moment, he would draw 2 cards, since Ostkaka would need to backstab attack, backstab SI7 agent, or backstab shift, whatever. Like he can kill it, but Freck will draw 2 cards if he focuses on it. Well, he just saps face and ignores it. By now. You could also eviscerate it, but you don't want to waste 4 damage on a minion when you can do those 4 damage in the face.
Yeah. He just goes for the face attack and ignores the Acolyte. For now.
I would say that's okay.
Yep.
But there's a Senjin incoming now, or a Krokon, but I guess he keeps the Krokon to maybe kill Twilight Drakes if there are any. I mean, he doesn't know if it's a Miracle Rogue or a Malagos Rogue, so there could be Twilight Drakes, or just kill the Auctioneer with a Krokon Elite.
I think it's especially useful against an Auctioneer.
Absolutely, but a Control Warrior never had the problem to kill something, actually, since there are so many cards in his deck/hand to kill minions. Well, and he has a Fury Winax to kill that SI7 agent instantly, since you really don't want to have 1 minion on the board dealing damage anytime. Wow, or
he Taskmasters his Acolyte, draws a card, and then trades.
Not only 1 card, he could also draw 2 cards. He will draw 2 cards, and he gets a second.
I would go for Fury. He wants to armor, I guess.
Well, he could armor, coin out Senjin, play the second Acolyte of Pain. So a lot of stuff. He could also play Earthen Ring Farseer, just heal himself up. The good thing is with Earthen Ring Farseer, that's a 3/3 minion on the board now.
Yes, it is.
So
and the rogue has to deal with it. We don't see a lot of card draw potential because, well, there is none effectively. But as soon as he draws an Auctioneer, he can draw so much.
So he might think about backstab eviscerate to clear the board, but he really doesn't want to backstab eviscerate now. You want to draw your Auctioneer and then drop every spell you have, and he could actually do it with a preparation, so at least 4 spells could be played. Oh, we see it incoming now, but it hurts so much since you're wasting spells without drawing cards for him. But you don't want to take so much damage either. As we know, Control Warrior just has the potential to burst you out of life. Easy mode.
That's true. And will he play the Senjin armor up? Or even go for Korkron and charge?
It doesn't really matter, I would say, what he does.
I think
It
Korkron and charge makes it like puts Ostkaka under more pressure.
definitely puts him under more pressure since he used those 2 cards. The funny thing is, with Kurkan and charge in, if he saps that minion, you just get it back in your hand and you can use it again instantly. So you deal 4 damage, you get it back in your hand, and you just deal another 4 damage. If he saps the Testingo now, the Senjin will just go in your hand, and that's it. That's already it. He will just go in your hand. And then you can play it again, but you didn't have the 4 damage you dealt before.
Yep.
But as you said, he really wants to keep it for his enemy, for the auctioneer. And I'm just wondering, did Freck end his turn without armoring up? Yes, he did. Wow, that was just unlucky. Clicked. I guess in his brain he coined out something or he played something, so he just forget to armor up. But it's not allowed to happen actually. So you cannot not armor up. You kind of need it.
Crucial mistake, maybe. We'll see.
Towards late game, it could absolutely be one mistake that hurts you a lot. But he gets more and more minions out, he armors up, and he dealt a lot of damage to Ostkaka. I mean, he's down to 20, you're up to 31, so Freck looks pretty healthy here. And Ostkaka may have Leroy in his hand, may have Saps, Coldblood's Shadow Stabs in his hand, but that's just not enough damage, and he really needs some card draw. Soon and fast.
If he had an Eviscerate now, that would be great, but he doesn't.
Oh, he saps. Acolyte of Pain.
I think that was a misplay. Because why would you sap him? Of course, you want to deny the card draw, but the warrior is up to 9 cards. Like, it doesn't really matter. And you need those saps.
I'm surprised he did this play. I would have gone for Grimash, Coin Whirlwind, and just deal those 16 damage you can deal now, because next turn he would have just won with Kraken Elite. So he could have brought him down with 16 damage and then finish off with Kraken. And, well, maybe he didn't see it or he didn't think about it, but now, like, you're giving your enemy even more options to finish you. And I mean, he can draw a lot of cards now. He can also preparation sap your minion. So you're giving away some options here, because now you lack a charge up card for Grimash. Well, you have your slam, but you need to coin it out also. So you could have had it out, and he would need to sap your Grimash. Now he can just sap your Tesdingo and draw all the cards he really wants / needs. Okay, he drew a lot of cards. He can still play SI7 agent, Coldblood, his auctioneer if he wants to, but then he needs to draw a conceal. So that's kind of not so optimum. Deals 2 damage, gives him 1 more card, and well, he wants to diminish that armor.
He has 19 damage next round so far.
I'm still sad Freck didn't do the play last turn. That would have been so much damage. Now he can also do it, but he's not going to finish with the play. So he might go for Kraken or just shield block, shield slam, and lie down his Tesdingo.
That's by far the best.
2 slams are gone. You just need to consider 2 slams are gone. You can just do what you want now with that Tesdingo. So he can attack with his minion, gain extra armor, armor up, kill him with a shield slam, and then still go for Tesdingo.
What? Why?
for that extra armor just from the armor smith. So he got 1 armor. Well, he didn't get the armor from armoring up, but he got some extra armor. Well, and now he has 14 damage on the board plus Grimace, Shield, Slam, Grimace next turn.
Why would you? Okay, well, that's just his. I would have preferred the shield block. Most definitely, because like the Korkron is a constant threat. You can deal damage to Ostkaka.
You should have, yeah, you could have dealt damage to the face, and you had your shield slam, so there was no need in keeping it.
And you make yourself, like, it's not only that you lose your Korkron, but you also get 5 armor more against the Miracle Rogue.
Ostkaka can draw, well, at least 1 card now with his Cold Blood, 2 cards if he Shadow Steps something, but like Shadow Stepping always hurts. He Cold Bloods his 2-1, gets a preparation, and is really hoping for a Conceal here. Eviscerate. Another Deadly Poison, that's kind of useless. He might consider just Shadow Stepping here to draw 1 more card to get a sap maybe. I know the sap to get a shift to kill a Testingo. And he gave him 1 more armor with that Eviscerate, so whatever you do, you just give him more and more armor.
I think you should use Deadly Poison and hope for Conceal. If not, he has to Shadow Step the Auctioneer, but it's more or less over.
Now there's even an Azure Drake, so it's not like super Miracle Rogue-y. There could be also a Maligos roaming around somewhere. Not impossible.
Unlikely though.
Or he just plays the version with to have more card draw. So except
he has no Cold Light Oracles, no Acolytes of Pain.
Absolutely.
He plays with Loot Hoarder and Azure Drake.
Grimace, what is he going to do here?
I think he will go for Control Warrior Mirror.
Control Warrior Mirror. Could be possible. Let's start the game and see if it's one of the most exciting and possibly longest games we will see in the whole series. Control Warrior versus Control Warrior. Grab some popcorn, guys.
We actually have popcorn here.
Run instantly to the toilet now. This game might take up to 20 minutes, if not longer. Well, the good thing is, or not the good thing, the interesting thing is both decks are the kind of mid-rangey version with Krokons, so it might speed up the game a bit, or at least the mid-game, so there will be some more action incoming. Both players, or at least Freck is running Testingos, is Ostkaka running Testingos too? We do not know by now. He's definitely running Azure Drakes.
That's true. And both warriors are armoring up. Nice.
What you gotta do, what you have to do always. There's a Krokon for Freck too. And, well, both hands are quite good. We see double Krokon, Acolyte of Pain, Azure Drake, Slam, Taskmaster, and another Slam for Ostkaka. So, hand to deal potentially a lot of damage. But the hand from Freck is not so bad also. Testingo, Krokon, 2 Taskmasters, 2 Executes, and an Acolyte of Pain himself. So quite interesting hands roaming around here. And if he wants to kill the Krokon here now...
Slam.
Yeah, he needs to slam without any value. And that hurts. So well played by Freck, I would say. And now he can put down his own Acolyte of Pain and armor up further if he wants to. Or he's just going for Testingo, but I would say Acolyte of Pain.
Definitely Acolyte of Pain. You want to get the armor up.
Well, and go for Taskmaster to just draw 1 more card. That's also good again. So the next slam will not draw any more cards. So he can slam now again, but that's not 1 card drawn here
and it's
for Ostkaka.
Protected against Korkrons as well.
Well, it can still get Krokon, but it will eat that Krokon up. That's correct.
You wouldn't go for that play.
He might think Krokoning the 2-2, but against a warrior, it's too risky. And he plays his Azure Drake.
Arcanite Reaper?
Even more mid-rangey version, you just play an Arcanite Reaper in the middle, you can kill all 5, 4, and even some 6 drops. But as you see, it turns out to be extremely good for him now. So he might just play Arcanite Reaper instead of Faceless, instead of a Brawl. So Arcanite Reaper is like, well, it's not a Brawl, but against a Druid you can kill 2 5/5 minions.
Yep.
So I would say good choice of cards here. Interesting choice of cards. Maybe he's going to play an upgrade too. We at least know he's playing a Gorehowl additionally to that Arcanite Reaper.
Upgrade would be funny.
Absolutely. Taskmaster Testingo maybe? Or is he just going for Baron Geddon?
I think Geddon makes the most sense.
Well, we know that Geddon is just going to die instantly, either to Slam and Weapon, or just Shield Block, Shield Slam.
Shield block, shield slam is the right thing to do in my opinion.
I would say Slam is better, since you can do 5 damage now to kill it, and your Shield Slam, Shield Block stuff has the potential to do 7, 8, 12, even more damage. If he does it now, he just robs himself the opportunity to do more damage later, and with Slam Weapon he cannot kill Ragnaros, for example.
But he would take 7 damage.
Well, as long as you're above 14 or 12, you're still good to go. Quite a lot of weapons in his hand. Not only Arcanite Reaper, there is a Fury War Axe too, there's Gorehowl too. That's kind of annoying, since you have all those weapons, but you don't want to draw them all together, since you're sitting on your Arcanite Reaper now and you're not using it. Kind of Alex.
He could. Would be a lot of damage.
At like almost the most damage Alex can do. Maximum damage you can have from an Alexstrasza is 15 if she comes out. So if you just burn 30 HP down to 15. Now he only does 13 damage. Still really good for Ostkaka now, bringing him down so hard. But I see an answer in Freck's hand actually, because he has his own, not only 2 executes, he has his own Alexstrasza, so he can absolutely Alexstrasza back soonish. And he also has that 1 Earthen Ring or 2 Earthen Ring Farseers. We don't know, we just see 1. But that turns out to be extremely useful for him.
Yep. Gets rid of some of the armor, so his Alexstrasza still keeps the value.
Is there YOLO Rack incoming? Maybe Slam, Cleave, finish off. There are some options here for Ostkaka. So he goes for the Cleave. He can kill the minion. Taskmaster away, the other one. And he could also go for Kurkan just to kill that 2/2. That's a good board clear, and if your enemy is not having his Cleave in his hand, you're actually, well, you're good to go now.
Oh, Black Knight.
And now he kind of has to use his Arcanite Reaper for a 4/1 minion, and cannot use it to hit the face. And that hurts quite a lot to waste your damage just like that.
Or no.
Now you're not going for Grimash to charge in on a 2/2
No.
or 4/1. Black Knight weapon trade and play your, for example, Fury Win-X new. I guess that's the one thing you're going to do. Well, at least he's up to 20 still, so you don't need to fear Grimash that hard. Has a Faceless Manipulator in his hand. What we most definitely know that Freck will not have a Faceless Manipulator in his deck, since he plays an Arcanite Reaper. I don't see where there should be any space with Kurkans and Tesdingos for faces Manipulator. He clears the board with his Gorehowl, does some damage, and from this point on, it will get kind of slow, I would say. Both players have a Gorehowl and can clear everything that drops on the board, even the big ones with a Slam, for example, and 6 damage Gorehowl. The only thing Freck can / should do now is, I would say, drop his Alex, bring him down to 15 before he does it with spells, minions, abilities. Just bring him down with Alex now before she loses her value. And hope your enemy is not having Grimace charge up.
That BGG. He has Ragnaros. Do you think he goes YOLO mode? I think Ragnaros is the perfect choice right now.
He could go Ragnaros. He could also face his Manipulator enemy Alexstrasza and just slam, kill it out of the way. Ragnaros is super risky. What are you, like, if you don't hit, there is 11 damage on the board plus Grimace will be 21 damage. It's too much of a risk.
I think it would be funny though.
Well, funny, it would be absolutely awesome for you taking that risk and maybe losing the game for your team.
Oh man.
Not so. He might consider attacking with his weapon now instead of using his execute. But that would bring him down to 9, 11 together with armor up. I'd rather stay on 19. That sounds safer.
Definitely is. Execute.
Execute gone, Shield Slam left, Execute 4, Freck in his hand, plus Grimace. So he might consider doing his 3 damage now with the weapon, playing his Gorehowl, and next turn he can deal 17 damage. If he wants to. So it would bring him down to, or he just killed that Armor Smith. Gorehowl, Armor Smith dead before it gets annoying. But Ostkaka has a pretty impressive hand. Ragnaros, Faceless, Baron Geddon, and another Armor Smith. That looks extremely well for him.
So you should go Ragnaros and armor up now, I guess.
I would say 2. You're taking the risk always when you play Ragnaros that your enemy could or could not have a Faceless himself. Still,
but it's very unlikely when he saw those, the Senjins, the Korkrons, and the Arcanite Reaper.
it looks pretty good for Ostkaka now. He's gonna deal those 8 damage. Has 6 damage on his weapon, so he could deal 14 damage if he wants to, and still has a Fury Winx in his hand. So there's like some giant damage potential. Freck drops down to 3 here.
And he can go for 3 Warwick Scatter next turn. Oh.
That's some quiet, useful shield block. He could just shield block his enemy away, bring him down to 7, and then play Whirlwind to finish off, for example. He gets an Armor Smith himself, and that's good. Or he just goes...
That was the right decision.
Or he just goes Whirlwind Execute now. Some options for him. Even Armor Smith Whirlwind Execute to make it even safer for him. Well, or just Whirlwind, Armor Up, Shield Slam.
Keep the Execute.
A lot of options here. I would say Shield Slam is slightly better, since you really want to use your 8 armor before you don't have 8 armor anymore. And that happens quite fast against a warrior.
And we see he goes for the Slam. Shield Slam.
But Ostkaka still has Baron Geddon in his hand. He still has a Fury War Axe in his hand. Still, It looks hard for Freck here to actually win the game. He might have Grimash, he might have an execute, but he has no more triggers here for his execute at the moment. So if anything big like Gaddon is incoming and his minion on the board dies, he has no triggers to get rid of Baron Geddon.
Do you think he's gonna use Gaddon and Taskmaster? I doubt it.
No, he just war exited away.
He had a work, so that's true.
Oh, you really want to see your second shield slam now, or just throw it with your shield block? It looks well that two times a good shield block for Freck here, and he gets a shield master, so he can protect himself against the Grimash taunt. So he takes that 7 damage, goes down to 9. He could die now to Grimash, but not anymore since there's a Senjin roaming around. Now pretty good draws for Freck here, really not wanting to die. And Ostkaka just gets a Whirlwind, which, well, is enough to kill the Testingo if he uses Whirlwind and Taskmaster. But
do you really want to use Whirlwind and Taskmaster only to kill a Senjin Shieldmaster?
I would answer that with a straight, no you don't. What are you talking about? Are you drunk?
No.
Okay, then you must be with your senses, and that's good. Ostkaka is on
Point landing, go.
on 23 HP. That looks quite good for him. And well, now you instantly will play your Grimash. It was like, is he really going to face his manipulator? Well, then you should play your Grimash now, since there's only one faceless manipulator in a control area. That hurts. He can just play Grimash Woe and execute and go for the face with 13 and 17 damage if he really wants to. It's not looking good for Ostkaka. Maybe we see the first 2-0 here from Freck with that hand. I mean, Grimash Woe and execute, most likely playing coming here. Maybe not even an execute, he could also just attack the minion. But absolutely 13 damage incoming. And there's still Ragnaros for Freck in the deck. There's still Geddon. Now Geddon he lost. So there's still Ragnaros waiting to be played. Well, that hurts now. I mean, you get a shield slam. But last time he used his shield block, he just drew a whirlwind. So he wants to have his shield block back, and then he could have actually killed that Grimash. But with this hand, he can only make him stronger. So what could he do? He could armor up, shield block, Whirlwind, Taskmaster, and there's still 4 HP left. I'm just counting
no shield block.
How much damage he could just armor up and shield them. He just can deal 4 damage to Grimash. That's not enough. Well played, and he attacks Grimash to die. The first 2-0 here for any of